Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Hades 2, and last time we had a run with the final aspect that we had yet to try, the Hidden Axe aspect, and this run will be our 100th run, which is pretty cool. At least our 100th night, I should say. And I did really like this aspect, because this animation is just hilarious. But as for what we have planned for this one, it's actually a little bit tricky, but I'll get into that in just a second, because there are a few logistics I just wanted to discuss really quickly, because there is an update that is going to come out soon, at least as of the time of this recording. It is accessible via a beta of some variety. I have not activated that beta here. I don't even know if I'm allowed to record it if I were to play the beta. I haven't read the fine print. We're not doing that this time because we already have a pretty large backlog, about 2 to 3 weeks of videos at this stage. So what I'm going to do is one more run here today on the original full release version of the game, and then hopefully by the time that backlog is through, we'll get that update, or I'll just do some chaos trials in the meantime, and then by the time we switch back over to full-blown runs again, hopefully we'll be back to that updated version of the game. And that update is supposed to do, I think, 2 things in particular. One is give a little more content to the true ending, which we of course have already experienced, but apparently people who have already done so will have access to an incantation that allows them to retroactively re-experience that true ending with the full added content. And then the other thing is that it will also accelerate the rate at which people progress the other subplot lines, like freeing the fates and many of the other things that we've been working toward as well. And that's the main reason why it just doesn't make a ton of sense to continue playing on this version of the game that I have right now, when it's going to be a lot easier to do the things that we want to do once that update comes out. So a little bit of logistics, but we will, as I said, look to do at least one more full-blown run today before all that stuff starts happening. So since we have now unlocked and used all of the aspects,
minor prophecies,
that means that we don't have quite as many things to check off our to-do list. We are, of course, as I just said, still looking to free the fates alongside a few other things, but I think this is maybe our most guiding prophecy, if you will, because we still have to finish a run with the aspect of Pan, Thanatos, and Medea. Basically, this is a prophecy for completing a run with every single weapon aspect, and we've done most of them, but those are the 3 that remain. We have used them all, I think, in chaos trials, though, so only in relatively limited situations. So the bonus bones weapon, I believe, is the blades right now, so we can use the aspect of Pan. That's what I'm thinking, and then hopefully along the way we can potentially make some more progress toward freeing the fates as well. So that's what I am planning here. The other thing is that I did mess around a bit with Arcana cards to take off the champions and any other rerolls that we might have had. The idea being that would then make it possible for us to experiment with 2 of the new keepsakes, the one from Hades and Persephone and the one from Zagreus, both of which function similarly. They're very powerful with upgrading your boons. Not sure if they work retroactively or not, but we can figure that out potentially here today. However, the catch is that you are not allowed to use any rerolls on the run, and you also are not allowed to use any keepsakes that guarantee that a specific god or goddess shows up, like all these ones in that row, except for this. And I think Moonbeam probably fits that criteria as well. Might be 1 or 2 other ones that are in a little bit of a gray area, but I'm thinking if we do these 2, and then maybe still a gold person, then on the final floor we can stick with Knuckle Bones or Luckier Tooth, something along those lines would probably still work. Concave Stone, the Narcissus keepsake that I continue to refuse to mention by name, those are also theoretical possibilities. It's mainly the Moonbeam and any of these guys that we would have to scrap. So that's what I was thinking. As for what the aspect of Pan is all about, let's take a closer look, because it has been a very long time since we tried this. Your specials seek foes in your cast and fire more shots if you channel longer. So that would suggest we want to cast first and then either normal or ideally charge special. So just double check before we look into potentially upgrading that.
Without struggle.
Blades would want us to go with 10 fear up, and we have had several runs going down in a row, so I think it does make sense for us to go up here. And 10 fear, honestly,
secrets lie within.
I mean, we have other aspects, or at least other base weapons, I should say, that have gone a fair bit higher than that, so it's a little surprising that the blades have lagged behind a bit, as at least once upon a time that was my favorite type of weapon, but it's been a while, so I don't know with this aspect how we feel, but let's throw some Nightmare into this guy.
Show me your true strength.
I think we probably will max it out, because we're getting close to having all the Nightmare we need to max out every aspect.
Hey, what just happened?
So this now, where'd it go? Oh, did I accidentally upgrade the wrong thing repeatedly? Did I do Artemis? I think I did. Oops! Did I exclusively upgrade the wrong weapon? Well, what I was going to say was that if we were only upgrading the weapons that we actually still needed to complete for this prophecy, we more or less had exactly the right amount of Nightmare. That is no longer the case. Oops! This is the one that we meant to upgrade.
You are bound to me, and
So we'll upgrade this, and now we may be completely out of Nightmare.
the full might of nature's wrath.
Yeah, we are. Okay, like this, for example, is another one that we would like to upgrade, because we still need this for that prophecy as well. But if we succeed on this run, we will get some Nightmare in the process, and I think we also have a Charon Nightmare delivery that might be somewhat close to arriving as well, so maybe we can still salvage enough Nightmare for our next run, but we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. So we throw these guys on, and after the second round of upgrades, the ones that were actually on the correct aspect, it now means we get 5 extra shots, 5 extra projectiles with a fully charged special. Okay. And theoretically, if there's an enemy in the cast, then that will sort of heat seek. Let's see. Oh! Okay, that is pretty nifty. The base damage is still somewhat low, as is the case with many of the blade aspects, because it is generally a faster speed weapon. And I did also, I highlighted the main things that I changed with the Arcana cards here by getting rid of you, but I also had to shuffle around a few other things to still maintain some of these guys, the 0 grasp Arcana cards, and unfortunately that did mean making some other adjustments that I was not thrilled about. Like dumping the Boatman, so that means we have way less gold, at least to start the run. And then I dumped Eternity and replaced it with Night, just because I had to have a 2, and I wanted to maintain something adjacent to the moon so we could still have this. I did pick up the Artificer, which we could potentially upgrade. I don't think we have any of the resource required. Yeah, we don't have any of the M dust, but we could potentially blow through a pretty sizable chunk of bones we've been amassing here.
Broker?
To do that, I mean, sure, we could also buy some Nightmare as well, but I think since we are about to use a bonus bones weapon, maybe we feel okay about doing some of this. I think it was probably 5 that we needed, but I may be wrong about that. Okay, and some wool. That's okay. We can do that. So this is a good Arcana card. We have used it a few times before, and I am a fan of it. I believe that this does not block those 2 keepsakes that we were just talking about, because that would kind of stink if we basically redesigned all of our Arcana, or many of our Arcana, just for the sake of these guys, only to then accidentally brick it. So I think we will probably start with the gold purse, because we don't have the extra gold from that Arcana card that we had to drop. And it will be an interesting test to see if these work retroactively, or only on the floor you use them. Do they work even after you unequip them on subsequent floors? I don't know. These are brand new. We've yet to try either of them. So let's see. And as I said, we want to go up, and we need 10 fear, which probably means we go 3 rivals, so up to Prometheus and Heracles, and then we need 2 more points elsewhere. Oftentimes we've done this, 20% extra life. It's not a crazy amount, so it feels like it's pretty good value there. The downside with this particular build is, as I was saying before, it seems like since this is a quick weapon, it doesn't have a lot of damage to work with. It's maybe a little more noticeable when enemies have more health there, but hopefully we can get by. Otherwise, you just accept the fact that you're not spending money. You could do debt, or you could do hordes and get even more enemies. I think we'll still go for grit, but we shall see how we fare here. Testament is marked. Golly, I mean, when in doubt, feels like that's not a bad idea to take her. So, sure, we'll give it a go. I don't really know which gods or goddesses we're going to be looking for on this run, but if we are truly committing to using the those 2 new keepsakes that prevent us from re-rolling, then we kind of just have to be at the whims of the fate and accept whatever we get. So starting with a hammer is certainly nice. And I would think special would be the key. Charge special fires each shot dead ahead. I feel like the dead ahead part is kind of pointless with this aspect, because we're going to heat seek more often than not, but the 30% range is meaningful. But channeling it 40% faster is huge, and I love that both of these have the prophecy. I mean, that's also good, but let's do this.
The master craftsman's gift.
Oh, that was bad. It has been a long time since I last used these blades. May take a little bit of time to get the hang of them again. And even when we were, it was usually with the aspect of Malinoi, charging the attack up for the backstab damage. Demeter, I feel like on the cast in particular, could be really good. If I did have the choice to select a specific person, that's still really bad. Like, really, really bad at this point. If I had the choice of a specific god or goddess, it probably would have been
The sigil of frost.
Demeter.
Are you on your way here to us, Flower? A journey that your mother made many a spring, but at a different time, whilst not beset by thuggish followers of a despicable titan.
Okay, let's see. We get the attack, we get the special applying freeze, and the cast. So this does have the highest rarity, and it is probably our most important boon. But since the cast is the opening move in many situations, as we've had so many times before, it feels like we can go with Demeter on the cast. The damage doesn't matter that much, so honestly, the rarity of this doesn't matter that much. It's mostly about the freeze, and then we could... I mean, 80% damage is certainly not bad, but we could potentially get greedy and see if we can get someone else who has higher damage for this. So I am going to lead with the cast, just because we've already taken some damage, so it feels like that's a pretty obvious gap that we need to fill early. Okay, so then the good thing about doing a run like this going up is that we do have some flexibility here. We can get more Demeter. Wow, there's a lot of... Ooh, a lot of options. How many different people are here? Okay, there's double Apollo. So, Ares, Apollo, Hestia, Demeter, who we do already have, and then Hermes. That's 5 different people, one of which we already have on our build. Then Medea, there's also Selene, there's Double Life. I mean, almost all these things could be of interest to us. I think Medea and Hermes, as is so often the case, are probably the ones we want to go to first, because they do have the potential to give us more value going forward. And also gives us some rooms with no enemies to heal off some of the silly damage that we took, so that's probably worth considering as well.
Enemies of Hades near and far. May ravens strip you of your flesh and eyes.
That's pretty gruesome.
All your extremities sent to a pickle jar.
What?
And beetles spit up from your mouths of lies. Whether you dwell upon the surface or below, your every step shall be with stabbing pain. No peace or mercy you shall ever know, ere you repent and die again. So mote it be.
That's horrible.
Welcome to my pharmacy.
So that's what you're calling it, huh? Alright, not gonna give tier. I think we're still trying to get the Kronos keepsake. That's the one that we still do not have, or at least we suspect it comes from Kronos. There's potentially 1 or 2 other people who might actually give that last keepsake instead.
Wanted to mention, Lord Hypnos still is slumbering in the crossroads.
Oh?
I tried dream vapors on him, to no avail. Can you think of anything more potent, perhaps?
We are very much still looking to awaken Hypnos, but we had not heard anything on this for quite some time. But you have my attention. This is, again, another one that I think is going to be accelerated with the new patch, but that's okay. Maybe we can still make progress.
Well, I can think of how to make dream vapors more potent, sorcerers. They practically could rouse the dead. As for that dormant son of Nyx, who knows? But little harm in trying.
I mean, we could harm him, so we should be mindful of that. And given what you were just talking about in that previous incantation, it does make me a little nervous. Can't help but feel like you're maybe not the most worried about the potential side effects. As for this, though, incantation learned. Okay, that's huge. That's actually huge. Alright, after each encounter, gain magic. I do not remember seeing this before. But that could be really good, because we are planning to use our charge special a whole lot. And to get this on basically the first room, gives us so much time to build up magic. Otherwise, enemies take damage when they join the encounter. We've seen this before. It's hard to get a read on just how helpful it is, because the range is so huge. And then here it is, as I've said many times before, unfortunately somewhat easy to miss the gold when it drops, although we did not take the Boatman Arcana card, so it could be a way to make up for that. So it is a little tempting that way, but it is maybe possible for us to see something like this from Hermes in the next room, so I'm going to go with this. I think either one of them could have been very good,
Thank you.
but I'm going to go with that one. Very patronizing tone of voice. Alright, is it, after each encounter? Okay, so I was just wondering if it was going to activate after this room, but this is technically not an encounter, so it won't.
The air feels different now.
Does it? Is there a reason for that? Yeah, that Hermes room is where I was thinking we would go. So as a reminder, this is going to be rival Polyphemus, who is no slouch, so we do need to be careful about that. What do we have in here? You have to go first.
Foolish.
Excuse me. It is, I know we didn't we speed up our charge special already? It is still fairly slow, so it does feel like that's one of the main things we could still do to improve the build. Here's the freeze, though, on the cast, which definitely helps make this a little bit safer. That did not hit you. The cast did not, which is unfortunate. There's still more enemies spawning right now? No, okay.
Onward.
Good. So that one is an encounter. It gives us more magic, and that should really pay off long term, is the hope. Okay, not gonna give it to you.
Quickly find him. You've got this, right? And yeah.
Okay. Charge cast. I wish that said special. Does this count the charged versions? Because if so, this is nice. Remember, we've no rerolls. No rerolls on this run. If we had money, this would be really good. But, I mean, yes, it's a slight discount. It's not a huge deal. It's more so the extra spending opportunities, which, if we had... Yeah, no, I don't think that makes much sense. I think it's probably this.
Let's pick up the pace.
One moment.
Join me.
That face. What? Join who? Okay. Anything else in terms of side areas here? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Oh, well, actually, might be the case after we do this.
Should put
It
a
is the
dent into
case.
that barrier.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna need you to chill real quick. Yeah, it's just, even when we fully charge it up, it's kinda surprising how little damage that does
Shiver.
with the charge special. Maybe it's that it's kinda more so supposed to be an area of effect type of thing rather than a single target damage kind of thing. That gold does help make up for gold that we were otherwise lacking. Okay. Now we carry on. Now we see.
Need a quick overview.
This is where I think certainly Selene makes a lot of sense with our magic use potential and just the total amount of magic that we have that facilitates that as well. So I would like to get her. We would like a big damaging special boon, and that is otherwise priority number 1 in all likelihood. And so what is the best way to do that? I wonder how Hestia could be with this special. It kind of intrigues me with the damage over time. That might help kind of circumvent how, like I was just saying, the damage was a little underwhelming. despite this aspect being fully leveled up. So I'm kind of thinking it's Selene, then Hestia, then we could potentially go back for Demeter. We 4 rooms, that's 1, 2, 3 if we do Demeter, 4 would be double heart. We'd be skipping on both Apollos and Ares potentially. Not sure. We can make up our minds on some of those latter points, but I think this one is clear. This is a lot of enemies, which could mean it's an interesting time to try that. Also send some of you guys flying out, see some golden urns, which is nice. Guessing there's only one wave here, because there's just so many enemies right off the bat. Oh, we did give enemies more health. Oh, that was supposed to be a special, not an attack.
Need to recharge.
That might help. So yeah, it might be that I'm just kind of feeling the extra life that enemies have from the fear that we activated. But it is a bit of a concerning thought as we are about to go into a potentially quite difficult rival Polyphemus fight. So this could be big.
Let us together shine this night.
And could influence which rooms we want to go into next.
You may enact the Testament of Night this eve, as difficult as it may be to overcome the growing fear that spreads with each and every uttered vow. I shall be your witness.
Yeah, let's see. Ray's last susceptible foe to fight alongside us. We took this in the previous run, I think. That combines with Hera, who is not here in town right now. Morph on up to 5 susceptible foes. I think that's Zeus, who is also not here. Or we get the big meteor damage, which combines with Hestia, who is in town, and this probably would be the one that I would prefer anyway. So I think we take this.
My greatest strength is
Bear in
yours.
mind, though, there's a chance this might have changed my opinion on this room, but we cannot take Moonbeam on this run if we are, in fact, going to stick with those 2 other new keepsakes. So that does make it much harder to power up our Hex. I mean, that's just such a staple of basically every run that we've been doing for the past however long. So that's going to be the tough part, is remembering not to do that. Also, is it just me, or is Golly defying physics right now, / participating in an Escher painting? Okay, so we're definitely doing this. Excuse me. Oh, you all have armor.
No time, Shades.
Let's change that. Okay, that was good enough to break their armor, so just doing basic attack combos. Can still stun lock very effectively, and even if we were blowing through our magic somewhat quickly in one of those previous rooms, remember, each room gives us more magic. So that is going to be improving relatively quickly.
To Kronos, eh? One moment it's the same old war, and then the next he shows up on our mountain all contrite. I know you witches can be serious, but this was well past what I reckoned you could do.
Thanks, I guess? Okay. So I was thinking this could be a good opportunity to pick up a special. But obviously we're not seeing that. Could take this. Narcissus is potentially still an option. Oh, but it would rarefy. I mean, that's honestly not the worst thing if this gets rarefied. But it does mean we shouldn't be relying on rarefying any of the major categories, the attack or the special. So, I'm just wondering how often this is the case for Polyphemus. Because he has the sheep, but they shouldn't qualify as enemies, even if in some cases they can deal damage to you. It depends on the specific encounter. There are other more zombie-like enemies that he can summon at times as well. So, how useful is that? And how often? I think against rival Polyphemus, using a very close range attack is not something that I'm very keen on doing. So I think for that reason I might opt for a more secondary source of potential boosted damage.
Oh, good.
Oh, that was so silly. I just was not even looking at all at that enemy. I was just focusing so much on the two bird enemies that I'd frozen. I was like, oh no, we're good here. And that's all 3 of our blocks used up. I mean, I guess that does happen on this floor. And that was a health upgrade that upgrades our max health, but not our current health, which is still useful. It's pretty good in the grand scheme of things for those side rooms. Okay, so we got Hestia. We definitely wanted her to combine with the Hex going forward, and maybe this is just going to be a Hex that we get to the God-sent version as quickly as possible, but that might be more or less the only thing that we can do with the Hex, given our relative limited Hex boosting potential without Moonbeam. So with 2 more rooms, I am eyeing the double life. However, I am also thinking about how it does still feel like we are sorely lacking for damage, at least outside of that Hex. So, if we could get a Magic Restoration boon, oddly enough, although it doesn't directly improve our damage, it makes it much easier for us to spam our charged abilities, and again, our charge special is potentially our best move, and it makes it easier to charge up our Hex more quickly. So in that way, it does charge up our most powerful skill. So, if we're thinking about that, I think Demeter of all these people has the magic regeneration boon that I like the most, probably followed by Ares. I do not particularly like Apollo's. So let's go Demeter first, and we'll adapt based on what we see there. We would still also really like a special damage boon, so if we see a good one from her, we'll probably take it. There will be a shop before the Polyphemus encounter. So there is that. Oh, I did not even see this other enemy here. Little zombie guy. Okay, please don't do that. Please get frozen instead. Okay, I am trying to, yes, pay more attention to that guy now. Thank you for walking into the Hex. Ooh, that was closer than it ought to have been. More enemies than I expected to be in this encounter, if I'm being honest with you. Oh, that's not good. Did make me wonder if we were going to see a guest appearance of some variety. Yes, I saw that. Probably could have aimed that a little bit better. Yeah, I see the eyeballs. Oh, you're still there. Okay. So yeah, not exactly lightning pace that we are finishing these encounters with right now.
In the name of Hades.
Okay, there is the Magic Restoration boon. And we are not seeing the special, so I think we probably will take this. Yes, I do really like this one, especially early on in a run, because those basically extra blocks, those do add up over time. But I am concerned about our damage potential against Polyphemus, and I think that actually is the thing that would help us the most. Okay. No bonus stuff in here. So that means if we're fishing now, we're looking for either just the most value from one room, which would probably be the double
What else is here?
heart, because that's otherwise kind of hard to get. Definitely not going double magic, not after we picked up the Medea upgrade and just got the magic restoration. We could go either Apollo or Ares for getting a special boon, trying to get a special boon there. We can't guarantee anything with no rerolls, but there is also a chance that in the shop we will find one, so I probably would rather not completely rely on that, but we might be about to, because I do still think that in a vacuum, this is probably better, and we're just going to have to accept the fact that there is a chance the Hex is going to be one of the only things that we have going for us in the Polyphemus fight, so we're going to have to be patient with it. Lots of Ooh, hello. I was stuck in an animation, I think is what happened. I was about to start charging up, was it a special? So I had pressed the dodge button at the time of that projectile hitting me, which is a little frustrating. That is a thing that happens. Usually happens with the bigger, slower weapons. Can happen this too.
Ensnared.
Let's do this. Yeah, it's just, that feels like that should be doing a lot more work than that. It's a fully charged special that we have invested into a fair bit with our aspect. Still waiting on the special boon. That was bad. You would think it would do more than that.
A gift.
Okay, so there's 50 extra life. So that gives us more margin for error to be more patient in that boss encounter. Get all the golden urns. I think we did. No side rooms, unfortunately. But with 450 gold, despite not having taken the gold keepsake, that's pretty decent. We can heal off the damage that we took here at the well, so that's useful too. Just making sure we didn't miss any golden urns or even any of the zombies just hanging around who occasionally drop a coin or two. So okay, we do this. We did blow through our blocks, which is a little unfortunate, but I mean that does oftentimes happen. So now here it is special. That's the big thing we are very much looking for, and I'm stealing this before you do. And it's gonna be this. And it's gonna be this.
In the name of Hades.
Such a farce. Give me that.
Did he just steal the extra ashes, which we really don't need? So that's fine in that case. You can get sprint damage. It is actually pretty good for damage, this one. Of all the sprint boons, this might be the best from a purely offensive standpoint. Maybe Hestia's as well. This, the earlier you get it, the better it is. I'm just not sure we can afford to be thinking long-term right now when we are about to go into a very difficult encounter. And this one, I mean, yes. If we already had good we're multiplying a very small number, is the tricky part, at least until we get a special boon. It's still not doing that much for us, oddly enough. So I feel like you just get something that gives you damage that kind of works independently, just a flat 100 damage, and we're going to be sprinting around a lot in this fight, probably not into Polyphemus himself very often, but it would help us take out some of his ads, especially if we get cornered or anything like that. It does knock foes away, which is kind of helpful defensively, in a way. So it's one of these two. I think it's this. Yeah, he took that. That's fine. Okay. So yeah, I do think this is going to be... It's also very good for breaking these. I think this is going to be a very difficult encounter. I know we've oftentimes said, oh, the rival Polyphemus, for how early you fight him, makes it especially challenging. It does feel like since the full release that's been a little less so the case, but this run does not feel very strong at the moment, so that is a concern.
Cyclops.
Is this layout slightly different?
You and nobody are pals. He and his rats are the only ones that ever got away from me other than you. That worthless good-for-nothing put you up to this.
Who's he talking about? Oh, is this... Hold on. Is this Odysseus? Because we've been trying so hard to progress our relationship with Odysseus, but he needs to reacquaint with people, and we aren't really sure what that means. There is that prophecy that we completed for bringing Odysseus' keepsake into this fight, which maybe is a bit of a hint that there's a little more between Polyphemus and Odysseus, after all, even beyond just that.
His name is Odysseus.
Yeah, okay,
He's a
hold
great
on.
hero and tactician. But you needn't worry about slaying him, for he's long dead already. Not your problem anymore.
Don't matter if he's dead, I'll eat him anyways. And don't care what he calls himself. He's always gonna be a nobody to me. Now how about I send him a message?
Okay, I'm hoping that that means we're at least making progress with Odysseus. Maybe we can't immediately start spending more time with him, but it might get the process going. Okay, so let's do this, then let's get out of there.
Sorceress?
Is the layout slightly different? It sort of feels like it. We resisted that, and that was very good timing, because that was going to be really nasty if we didn't. Yeah, no, that's not so great. If you do not have them in the circle. Goodness. And that's why, as I've said many times before, I'm not a fan of this encounter, because it feels like there are a bunch of things that hit you when they should. They have way more range than they should. And I'm very frustrated that our Hex missed there, given just how close he was. Was an opportunity. This arena is definitely smaller than it usually is. Which might be why at times it has felt even more so like it's impossible to dodge him. Oh. Yep, I see that. I see you, Medea. And you did make Polyphemus become poisoned, which I did not appreciate. I did not appreciate that. However, standing still does give us the magic restoration. Ah, this is a problem. Oh, Medea spawned right next to me. That was almost very nasty. Wait for it. Uh-oh. That was close. Seems like a good time. There we go. Okay, but now he's mad. Now he's particularly mad. That was close. What was that? Excuse me? He's Medea. Not really sure what happened there. Okay, he's doing this. He also has a lot of friends around him right now, which I'm not a big fan of. Dash through, and then dash this way, and then hit him with that, and then hit him with this, and then hit him with this. Maybe get him for a little bit of that, but that was a little greedy. Somehow I avoided getting hit there, though. That's very fortunate. Oh, that counted as a resistance. That's unfortunate, but just do this real quick. Please stay there for a few more seconds. Thank you very much. That's why I was... Despite us not being able to get quite as much value, theoretically, on the Hex, I was still pretty eager to pick one up. Ah, that didn't quite land where I wanted it to. Oh! I over-dodged, oddly enough. Okay, ooh. Magic back. Magic back. Oh, hello, Medea. I was not paying attention to you. Got to have the Hex back. See if I can find a good window to do it. Ooh, that was close. Oh! Poisoned. And about to be poisoned again. That was close. Ooh, okay. Don't mind me. Getting my magic back. Really sure what I was looking for there. I mean, I guess just the act of charging up. Ooh, hello. The act of using a charged ability spends magic, so that alone does help us get the Hex back, so that is kind of meaningful in a way. I don't know how that didn't hit us, to be honest with you. Oh, what? He was absolutely facing the other direction. Hey, man. Please stay in that circle. Hello, Medea. Rarely that close to him facing the other direction when he's using that skill. Magic back, magic back. That's the other reason why I wanted to make sure we had the magic restoration boon. That has also definitely helped quite a bit. It's a little bit greedy, but we'll see. I hit him? No, it didn't. I led him a little bit. It's just hard. He usually only moves in fairly big leaps like that. So either he stays still and you hit him, or you anticipate where he's going to go. And it takes a good guess. I've not been doing the best job of that as of late. We're about to get it back anyway. Need to force the issue there, but that, for example... There we go. Just barely got him. Don't mind me. Leah on her way. Ooh, that was close. X is back. That's not the best place to put that, although you might have just barely jumped into it. No, you didn't. Dash through that one. Not what I wanted to do. That was... Yes, I kind of just accepted that I was going to run the risk of him hitting me there. In part because I was growing impatient. This for the sake of charging up the Hex more quickly. Where'd he go?
Have some of this.
Dodge through. That was very fortunate. Okay, that's technically the best way to set him up. Just trying to get him. One more Hex, maybe. Technically, it's overkill, but if it works, it works. No, don't jump now. If the sheep kills you, that would just be kind of hilarious. There we go. Alright, honestly, not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was slow, don't get me wrong. We knew that was going to happen. But I thought we were going to end up taking more damage than that. The way that the rest of our specials ended up flying out. Okay, so at least we made it past the first big threshold, the first big checkpoint. No Death Defiance is used, so that's always good. And we spent a fair bit of gold. We still have a half-decent amount of gold here. We could Narcissus, but it would upgrade this, which is decent. I just don't know that that's going to be a game-changing thing that's worth committing a keepsake to. So, these were the two cards that we were saying we would be interested in trying. I don't know if they work retroactively or only for the boons that you pick up while you have the keepsake actively equipped, or does it work for the rest of the run? It says while at the Fate's whim, which is technically the case now, and it will continue to be the case unless and until we take something like a Moonbeam. So don't do that if we are planning on doing these. And then I don't know if you start off, if say at the moment Fate's whim is active, so we take this, we get the bonus, and then later on we do Moonbeam or one of the other keepsakes that summons a god or goddess, then do we retroactively lose that extra level or lose that extra rarity? Couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. So take your pick between level and rarity. I think, I mean, maybe you could say rarity gives you a way of, it's an alternative to the Narcissus keepsake. But since I was saying we're probably not doing that anyway, I guess we'll take you.
The card.
And we heal. Gets us up to max, that's nice. Mini shop. I think we do want this because we do have duo potential. I know with no Moonbeam it's going to be tough to get good value on this, on the Hex, but it already was a very important factor, and we know that the Meteor plus Hestia is just incredible with the duo.
This way.
So it does pain me a bit. That would be, if anything,
To my life nearby.
if anything, that would be what we would want for the
See that
keepsake that does in fact summon a
Why, thank
god or
you.
goddess. Something else it was pointing to in addition to that, though. Oh, here.
The hunt begins. Hooked one.
There we go.
Come on, crab.
I don't remember seeing those before. Also, I'm just noticing for the first time, if you listen very closely, you can hear this sort of creaking sound. I don't know if it's going to pick that up, but it's a nice little attention to detail there. Okay, onward we go. Oop. I saw it coming, and once again I was stuck in the animation, and it is very frustrating. It is not the first time it has happened this run, and it probably will not be the last. It's just one of those things that I wish the game was a little more open to letting you cancel out of your animations with a dodge. Okay, so here, magic, life. We already have a lot of magic and magic restoration and potential to earn even more magic. Yeah, the bones are more useful back at the crossroads, but I think we'll still go with this. And technically speaking, combining a freezing cast with this particular hex makes a lot of sense as well, because we can much more reliably hit the enemies. Oh right, we can transform these! With our other Arcana card that we gained this time. Okay, so we can switch this over into a major boon of some variety, or potentially a heart, or a palm. You know, a non-crafting resource, so I think we do it.
Transform.
Hopefully that does not count as taking away this. It doesn't seem like it did. Definitely the worst possible thing we could have gotten, because of how much magic we're going to be getting. Is it Hephaestus who has the boon that gives you extra life based on how much magic you have? I always forget, because there's someone else who has something kind of similar to that. I think it's Aphrodite has one that boosts both your attack and your special by a set percentage number, depending on the rarity. So we do not yet have Hephaestus precedence, so I don't know that we can rely on that showing up, but it would potentially be very good
Shamblers ahead.
if it does make an appearance. Okay, so these guys, and these guys, those are all the enemies that are really frustrating with how far away they can hit you from. You cannot be frozen at the moment. You are on freeze cooldown. You are no longer on freeze cooldown. You are no longer armored, so I can just spam this. We are still very much in the market for a nice special weapon. That is probably still priority number one. And it does also mean that the things that we can upgrade, we aren't really looking for the cast to give us damage. This is upgradable, but still not a huge deal. We could upgrade this for even more damage, but that's more of an afterthought type of thing, and after having gotten an upgrade on this, it's, for the most part, going to be doing all the work that we needed to do, especially when we have such a large base magic pool to work from. So I think we're going life here.
Freeze.
Freeze, sir. Everybody, clap your hands. Technically, you were not in... I mean, it wasn't even a technically. You absolutely were not in the cast. I didn't really mean to do that. Yeah, it doesn't really do more damage to a single target unless they are in the cast, and that makes them... that makes the projectiles heat seek. Didn't really want to do that either. I was more so just noticing this. Okay, Zeus. We do not yet have you, but we are definitely taking you over this. And, I mean, unless we had Hephaestus and we were just banking on getting that boon completely. But getting you for a special could be good, and if that does happen, we'll probably try to rarefy. That could be interesting. So that should be better. Now I'm going to do this and combine that with theoretically, one of you, just one of you gets hit by that. That's a little frustrating. Fortunately, though, the way we've set things up, it is very easy to charge up the Hex very quickly. Ooh, that was close. In a few different ways. The game just dashed in the opposite direction I told it to. It has done that in the past runs several times before. Sometimes it punishes you, sometimes it doesn't. It just shouldn't exist. I don't know why it happens sometimes. Okay, not gifting.
Do pardon our continued bickering, Melinoi. I merely wish to offer that your efforts would be better spent dispelling remnants of the father of all monsters, rather than the possibility of Kronos in the underworld, as good Queen Hera thinks. All families must squabble as we do.
Okay. Looking for the special. We get the attack. We also get this. It doesn't matter what the starting rarity is, we can rarefy it. So I think we go for it. Because it's delayed damage, but it is a burst of... It's a flat burst of damage, which is good, because as I was saying before, the percentage boosts are kind of tough when the base damage is quite low. So I think we go rarefy here. Can we double rarefy? Can we make this heroic? If so, then I think I can. I'm doing it. Yeah. Oh, and then Selene showing up. Good timing for this. So it's 5 points, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can get here. Ideally, we'd get 1 more point so we can use it twice in the upcoming boss encounter. But let's see. Starts charged. Has more power. What else do we get here? Starts 80% charged. I do kind of like that, because this one does take a little bit to charge up. What is the big one down here? I don't like this one. Which is kind of good, in a way, because since we can't use Moonbeam on this run, we probably weren't going to be able to make it that far anyway. What about the blue ones here? 3 smaller blasts. Enemies take more damage. So I think we go the bottom route to get here. If we get more points, we go for this. And then if it comes in a bundle of 3, then we get those 2 as well. Out of curiosity, base power. Okay, sure. Let's do this, do this, do this, do this, do that.
Your path
Okay.
has led to Hestia.
So that could be very useful. Because the Hex is such a big part of what we're trying to do right now. It might even be... Oh, I tried to press the Hex button immediately. It doesn't charge up that quickly. Excuse me. It didn't exactly land where I intended to put it. I was more so aiming for the dead center. Okay, and now the special is something that we are totally fine with upgrading. In fact, we would love to upgrade it. Nope. Nope. Dodge through. Kind of fortunate. Broke your armor, which is good. Oop. I'll be honest with you, that was not what I intended to do, but that's okay. If you want to jump into that, that's also fine. There we go. Okay. And I think one other Arcana difference that I did not note of was that I activated the Furies... I think. Did I? The one that makes us do extra damage when enemies are within our cast? Maybe not. Oh, I had to activate Strength because we had... Or it was really the only thing that I could get for the amount of leftover grasp that we had without breaking some of the other ones Like, it might have been that, or that. Okay, so yes, this is what we're looking for. Nice. Okay, and a double room does obviously have a lot of potential here. The good thing is, we have picked up a fair bit of life, and certainly magic, at this stage. So from that standpoint, we're maybe a little bit ahead of schedule. It was the damage, which was the big thing that was lagging behind, but maybe that has now changed. With this and the Hex as well. I'm surprised this lets me do it at the beginning.
Help you.
Well, it's a very fast one. I was gonna say, it was just exclusively back and forth from one side to the other and never the double. Okay, so... circles on the ground. Heat-seeking fireball, I think? And I'm not sure what we benefit from the most. Probably other Zeus stuff to see if there's anything we can get that would empower our special. I mean, if we get an attack from either of them, that's probably fine, but I think we probably do prioritize you. Let's see. So it is an attack, or at least that's one of the options. Whenever you use magic, random foe is struck by lightning. Damage from charge moves immediately activates Blitz. Does that count if the charge move is the thing that is applying the Blitz in the first place? I don't know. I would love to see this be a higher rarity, because this is actually potentially one of the best supporting boons we could possibly ask for with this build. So if we're feeling greedy, we did use our rarify options already, of course, but this is still good given how often we're using magic. Can we wait on this? I'm gonna do it.
Lightning from on high.
Not really mad at you, dearie, but I don't have the energy right now to go against the daft traditions that we have.
So yeah, short term it was definitely not as effective, but I'm hoping that long term
I mean no disrespect.
we will get some other options. We'll see a higher rarity version of that same thing. Ooh, that was a little bit unfortunate. I'd see that we have the Hex. I'm assuming that there's going to be another wave of enemies, so I'm deliberately saving it for that. Yeah. Do it now. It is a little ironic that we're using her Hex when she is mad at us. There we go. Not so bad.
No need to get all hot and bothered for too long about this sort of thing. So let's just carry on.
What do we get here? We can get her attack. Charge special also launches a fireball, but uses more magic. I think we're okay with that. And honestly, if that means that each projectile launches a fireball, that's incredible. I don't know if it's just a single projectile or if it's going to turn into a bazillion. If it is a bazillion, then this is amazing. Hold on, we can check. It's only one. Darn it. Yeah, maybe that was too much to ask for. But either way, I think it still makes sense, and given how we have so much magic and magic regeneration, that shouldn't be a problem that we're adding the magic cost. If anything, it might help us charge it up more quickly. This shouldn't be the penultimate room, which means, it's a little tricky gold-wise, because we don't have as much gold earning potential as we would usually have, or at least we started off with less. So buying from here and the penultimate room shop will be a little tricky. There's a chance we're going to see the optional boss encounter here, because it seems as though it tends to show up second floor in a mid-floor shop like this, not in the penultimate room. Okay, but I'm not seeing it, and it's almost a good thing that I'm not liking most of the things that we see here, so we're not tempted to spend on either of these. I mean, again, if we were trying to max out our magic as much as possible, we could have already been at probably over 300 at this point, which is kind of insane. But I think we're just taking Poseidon here, and that means we should still have a decent bit of gold, even for the penultimate room shop, and then as for whether we'll have any gold in the mini shop after Ares, you know, we'll figure that out once we get there.
proper captain now. I'll have to keep the currents clear for him.
Is this our first time buying a Poseidon boon on this floor? It honestly might be. Okay, let's see. Get his attacks. Earlier we get this, the better. We did see it in, I think, just common rarity at the very beginning, and we were saying, well, it would be nice timing-wise, but we just couldn't really afford to have that kind of luxury when we were thinking more short-term against Polyphemus. It feels like we're in a bit of a better place now with the build. This is another way to further empower our charge moves. If we had more gold, well, it's only rewards for the end of rooms. It's not for purchasing from shops, right? So technically, I guess, it doesn't matter from that standpoint that we don't have that much money. Is it still early enough that this is okay? Maybe it would help us get more gold for what it's worth. I guess we'll take it.
The ocean's fury.
Okay. So I don't think there's anything else in here, just out of curiosity. Pretty darn evenly spread out when it comes to the elements of our boons. Good for Hera infusions, but not really for anything else, and we don't have Hera precedence, so that's not really a factor. Ooh, you guys were just hanging out over here. I'm gonna do that, and then do that. Tricky thing with this floor is I do think these technically count as the same room, which means we will not get the God-sent version of our Hex back in this room anymore, so was that a waste? Maybe a little bit. Okay, so this is actually, given the Poseidon boon that we just picked up, you could make a stronger case for taking this, and given how we bought a little bit from a mid-floor shop and still have one more to go, but that's still likely to be 100 gold. If you're going based on expected value, it's 135 gold, which is still less than the value of this, so I guess we'll take this. Okay, it seemed like... Whoa, sent him flying a ton with our dash. But it seems like, yeah, the charge special is starting to do more so the kind of damage that I was looking for originally. I don't think you're quite in the area of effect. That was an interesting animation that you were, this position that you were stuck in there. Okay. But do we? We technically do want a gift to Poseidon. We have 2 nectars. I guess we can still afford to do it. Yeah, we probably should.
Uncle Poseidon, it is an honor to have earned your blessing, especially for all the battles still to come.
Well, I'm left to wonder who it was that taught you such good manners, niece. You're like a proper little lady. I'm impressed.
Guess we'll take that as a compliment. It was definitely intended as a compliment, and okay. Prophecy unlocked and immediately fulfilled, so that's very nice. I think those give darkness, and we did spend a fair bit to accidentally... we spent a bit to get moon dust, which we used to upgrade some arcana, then we accidentally spent a bunch of nightmare. We definitely won't be able to afford the nightmare that we accidentally spent.
Hear me, on my authority.
Okay, then here... Okay, we see a higher rarity version of this, because we were eyeing it before. I think it was rare rarity at the time, now it's epic. Let's do it. So, all of the things that empower our charge moves, starting to add up now. Okay, now this will be the I think the penultimate room? It still feels a little bit early. Let's see. I mean, it has to be, though, right? I'm not going to get 3 shops on one floor. Yeah, so that's Rival Heiress. We could get the palm that we just spent. I don't remember. I don't think it gives us the palm slice effect. At least based on ashes and bones that you buy from the shop, does not give you the life and max magic bonus. So I think for that reason, we just do this. We'll save a little bit of cash so that way we can potentially still buy something in the mini shop after this fight.
Olympus, I accept
And that's a Charon card as well. Ooh. Ooh. Very high rarity stuff here. We do not have this. We have not reached the threshold. However, as you can see, Demeter does give a fair share of water boons, and you would think Poseidon certainly does as well. And we have precedent for both of them. So we have a decent chance of getting this longer term. That does add a lot of damage to the cast, which we are using quite a bit. The attack is sort of the odd man out in a way. So although my eyes do light up when I see this epic rarity version, I feel like it is not of critical importance here. And if we're thinking short term, probably is this. But that'd be a good one for the Echo Stone. Getting a whole bunch of those. Okay, so now Rival Eris. As I said, I'm feeling a little bit better about where the build stands now. Certainly with the God-sent Hex. Given how we only have one copy of it, even in boss encounters, there is some question as to when the best time to use it is. Just double check these guys. Starts up 80% charged, and it has a larger area of effect. Is there anything that gives us bonus damage for the rest of the encounter after we use it? Because that would be the main case for using it immediately, at least as soon as we can. Not seeing that. Yeah, so I guess the strongest case for using it immediately is you can then start charging up subsequent hexes as quickly as possible. Those subsequent hexes are not going to be as strong as the first one. And, of course, Eris gets much stronger the longer the fight goes, so there's something to be said for saving a really big hex for the end, although she has a bunch of increments when she starts getting to low HP where she gains immunity. Like, usually it's just 50% for some bosses, and then, or sometimes it's broken down into thirds or quarters. But Eris, I don't even know how many she has, but she has at least one phase when she drops down to like 5 or 10% health. So it's pretty hard to do a huge burst of damage at the very end to take out Eris in particular. So yeah, I think we're just using it more or less as quickly as possible. So let's hop on in and see how we fare here.
You made it. Now that my brother's back, you still have no intention to return the Rail of Adamant, do you? Even though it was in his possession prior to all this.
Did you steal it from him?
What makes you think he has greater right to it than me, huh, babe? He wasn't even using it 5/6 of the time. Just another weapon to him. But it's my one and only.
Oh, she's breaking the fourth wall. Whether intentionally or not, you know, that qualifies, I think, because in Hades 1, yes, the weapon she's using is one of the potential weapons you can use, and it's, I guess, one of 6. I don't remember exactly how many, but that is right. In that case, he was only using it 1/6 of the time, and 5/6 of the time he wasn't. So, if it is your only weapon, Eris, I guess maybe that does give you a decent claim to it.
How touching. I trust your mother shall make sure it all works out, seeing as she's back as well. I wonder if she's always known you'd get your hands on that thing.
Oh, she has. Because this isn't my first time. Then I kind of lost it at one point, and your brother got his hands on it instead. But I always take what's mine.
Alright. Of course, she has her laser beam. So, the question of when to use the Hex. Here. I have chosen. Ooh, okay, that was very well timed. We'll take that. Ooh, yeah, remember, you want to be close to her and ready to dodge when she starts doing that. Not like that, because the geometry is not working in your favor. Oh, okay, now it's just a normal version. Not like that. Much easier, geometrically speaking. And phase. This is what I meant. She has lots of phases. If you guys could stay in there, that would be lovely. Thank you very much. I was focusing on Eris. That was close. Yeah, we don't have an attack boom, but... That was unfortunate timing. And we do also just have... Ow. That hurt a lot. We have all the effects we get from using charged abilities, which really add up. So even if we aren't getting the, all the projectiles to hit her with the charge attack, just by using one alone, ow. That alone is very meaningful. Magic back while we can. Dodge that. Even if it's only just barely qualifying as charged up, that's probably still worth doing. On you guys. Ow. I could not even see what Eris was doing there. Maybe about to use Death Defiance, which is unfortunate. It does feel like that was avoidable. Dodge through? No, I did not dodge through correctly. Oh, what? That was insane. I did not think you had that angle. Okay, I'm getting a little frustrated now. Thank you for staying in there. Except then, as soon as I said that, you were no longer staying in there, which I did not like. And you do that. That was horrible, horrible positioning. And there you see what really makes this fight difficult is when you do mess up, she can punish you big time. Don't walk into that. Don't stagger me right as I'm doing this. Once again, dodged out at the last second. Oh, I got my magic back. There we go. That was close. Oh, don't stand there. Or there. Oh. No, come on. There we go. Wow. That did not go well. That might be our worst fight against her thus far in the rival form. That was bad.
She started it.
That was very bad.
Something of value there.
Like, potentially run-ending bad? The domino effect, at least, because that was 2 Death Defiances. If we were to run out of Death Defiances, we could bring Athena, but by bringing Athena, we mess with these cards, with this keepsake and the one that we were thinking about potentially taking on this floor. And we still have rival Heracles plus Polyphemus, or not Polyphemus, Prometheus. And that is also potentially a challenging one that could require Death Defiance or 2. And then obviously Typhon, it's not the rival version, but even still. Can't be sure you're going to be safe without any Death Defiances there. We can always break out a luckier tooth for 1 Death Defiance, but oof. That got really bad really quickly. It's just face tanked the triple laser beam a couple of times, and I think both times led to Death Defiances, because that just adds up so quickly. So the original plan was to take this, but do we abandon ship? We can get a random Hades blessing. I don't know how that works. Do we get that immediately? And do we well, it's random, so we aren't choosing, I don't think, unless it's getting an option of 3 counts as random? Probably not. So, I mean, what are the alternatives? You could go with this just for the healing. You could go with this for the healing. You could take one of the... Honestly, I mean, there are 2, quote-unquote, bossing keepsakes that we could use. One for this floor and one for the next floor. I don't know if we've taken Knuckle Bones on this floor with Rival Prometheus, so I'm not sure if this hits both Heracles and Prometheus, or if it only hits Prometheus for the extra damage. If it does hit both of them, that is pretty convenient. And if we had upgraded the Palm one more time to get the extra use of the Godsend version, I think that also would have made a very big difference, because as soon as we no longer had the Godsend version, it was much harder to hit her with it. She is quite mobile, though. So, where do we land here? I mean, this is also, in a way, a method we could use to be safer on this floor. I think... Gives us rare... I just don't know that this is strong enough, even if we did kind of structure the Arcana specifically for these guys. And it's kind of tough, because maybe once they're ranked up, they could potentially be the strongest or among the strongest keepsakes in the game. They are basically just stronger versions of some of the other ones. Like this, you can rarefy multiple times, you can rarefy any type of boon. So that's better than all these, just you can't combine it with any of these. And then this, I don't know if there's really anything that it's a direct upgrade over, other than that it's a palm. These are multiple palms, potentially, and potentially multiple instances of multiple palms. But the more leveled they are, the more of a difference that makes. I think we're going here.
This, then.
Damage control, basically. Oh, man. Oh, man. That is absolutely brutal. Unless there's a golden urn here. No, there isn't. That's a killer. Oh, no. Oh, we're so close to being able to afford that. No. That would have made such a huge difference, even just having one more Death Defiance. But alas, it's not going to happen. Okay. Can we still salvage this run? Well, 125 gold worth of value in a vacuum. 100 gold worth of value. This, both of them can actually be duplicated by you. I forget what the alternative was at the time. It might have been a lower rarity version of this. But I think we go for this still. I know it means mini shops are going to be tough, as we just saw. Don't do that. Ooh. Oh, that was so greedy. I had it made up in my mind that I was going to use a charge special no matter what. And I did not have time to do it. And those are the kinds of things that, you know, you can sometimes get away with. But when things are already looking a little grim, those kinds of mistakes add up. To the point where they feel a lot more significant. Okay, but we do get the bonus max life upgrade there, and that is very helpful. And I think we have to go hammer here, right? Yeah, I think so. Ooh, that only broke his armor, didn't kill him, which is unfortunate. Don't mind me. Also the kind of thing that you can get away with when... Okay, I hate these guys. We're doing this. Can I manipulate you into going into the blast? Not exactly. Well, you were frozen. And you were not the last enemy, either. Hate that. And hate that, too. I was trying to get into cast range. Instead, I got hit before I dropped the cast, which is also very frustrating. You are on freeze cooldown. see here. Fires plus 3 shots. Ooh, that is very tempting. Extra damage to armor with the special. Charge special fires each shot straight ahead. Has more range. As I was saying before, that just doesn't feel like that makes sense with this aspect. This one, depending on the enemy, could be meaningful. Obviously, it does give us prophecy progression. But at the same time, I don't think we can afford to be that kind of picky here. I think 3 extra shots is potentially huge, and a little bit of a damage upgrade per shot as well.
Further refined.
That's a lot. So I'm hoping that is a big difference maker. And then, this is tough. Hermes could be quite good. But I think we really want at least one more Selene upgrade. So, I mean, if we knew we could see Selene later on, then we would probably take Hermes over Selene here, because we just really want one more Selene, so we can get one more God Scent, and then maybe a little bit of bonus stuff in addition to that. But since we cannot predict the future, I think we'll go with this, and then Chaos. I don't know how I feel about that. That makes me awfully nervous. Definitely makes even more of a difference being able to heat seek with the charge special now, because if not, then we're just shooting the blasts all over the place, and there's no way they're going to hit the targets that we're looking for. By the way, these are other enemies that I absolutely hate. Not particularly safe here. Once that other automaton gets over here, that's going to be a problem. Oh, this is a huge problem. Now, if we are about to get Athena pay us a visit, which may be the case, then that would be fantastic right about now. Because it does seem like a very long encounter, so it does feel like that's a possibility. But, okay, there we go. Thank you, Athena.
Cousin?
And we could really use some help from Athena, because she is the one who can give you some Death Defiances back, and I was considering even using her keepsake, although that would have broken the previous keepsake that we used. Again, we don't know if retroactively that removes the bonuses that we had gotten from that. I'm going to take this first. And this is the big one, letting us use the God Sent version at least one more time in the boss fight, and then don't think we're trying to get to you. So we're probably going for the mini blasts. Otherwise, yeah, we can't get here with just 2 anyway. So more damage after we use it. That gives us, again, another reason to use it early, because we did not have any of these yet. Usually you can stack quite a few of them. Probably all on this side. Yeah. Or maybe here. No? Okay. Let's take you.
The sheer might of the moon.
And now... here.
My father's palace is now closed for retrofitting, probably much like what's underway in your father's realm, leaving you with nowhere to rest after a hard night's work.
Is that technically supposed to be the reason why we don't go there at the end of runs anymore, in either direction?
It's all right, Lady Athena. I mustn't stay here longer than I have to, and recover far more swiftly where I'm from.
You fight as though you're unencumbered, but I know the surface weighs on you. It is impressive how you've learned to suppress this fate-wrought weakness in your blood.
Anytime someone mentions the fate, my ears prick up. Okay, let's see. After we take damage, we become impervious for 2 seconds. That would have been incredibly helpful in the Eris fight. It probably would have helped us from some of those laser beam shotguns. We get the deflecting dash, which is huge. Replenish all uses of Death Defiance and improve their potency. We have to. This is a no-brainer. Yeah. No question. We get 2 back. Alright, run save, potentially. That is why I was interested in potentially forcing the Athena arrival, though technically we would have had to have lost another Death Defiance for that to happen. Okay. So now suddenly we have all of our Death Defiances back, and they are slightly more potent. So that means we can approach this the way we would normally approach this situation. It is still awkward timing for Chaos. We did not guarantee this via the shop item. That means we do take a fair bit of damage by jumping in, and it almost certainly would still be active at the time of the upcoming boss fight. So we'd have to, and we have no rerolls. Ooh. So we could get absolutely screwed by a nasty downside to a Chaos boon there. So that might be reason enough not to go that route on this run. Mini-boss is also obviously risky in terms of just taking a bunch of damage. It would either be Talos or it would be the dragon. And how do we feel about those? We have the freezing cast, which I feel like both of those cases, those bosses, those mini-bosses, do chase after us a lot. So being able to freeze them could be quite useful. Otherwise, yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be this. Let's see which one it is. It's Talos.
I'd like a word with Lord Hephaestus about you.
Indeed. Okay, so I think we have no reason not to just go straight into that, other than we're just really wanting you to stay in that circle. You do not count as a boss. We cannot use it multiple times against you. Thank you for walking into that. I did appreciate that. Oh, just expired. Cast. Unfortunately. I could not see what you were doing. Come hither. Never mind. Oh, that what? Excuse me? How? Try to keep heading in this direction. Beautiful. I got caught in your fire, I think, technically, is what happened there. What? There's no fire on the ground! Come on, game. This is getting ridiculous. This is starting to really frustrate me. It's one thing when it's a matter of not executing well. It's another thing when we just see ridiculous stuff happen completely out of nowhere. Maybe it's that the ground effect from his fire is hard to see when there's also a cast on top of it, but even then, I really did not see it. I was looking straight at it, and I still did not see it. So that felt extremely cheap. I'm not happy about that.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Okay, we still do not have an attack boon, so there is something to be said for this. This does give the cast more damage, but it also means that the cast is a little bit harder to aim. I think I might go for this. It gives us chaining damage. It's good against crowded rooms, which, you know, if we can get rid of one enemy with our crazy supercharged special, then maybe it starts a chain reaction.
Sure.
Okay, and I think we're definitely going life here, especially after having taken a bunch of damage. Definitely in the market for some healing now.
More sky dragons.
As opposed to what? Ground dragon? Definitely not the last enemy. Far from it.
Say we turn up the heat.
That definitely helped a lot. Oh, there we go. Okay. I was about to say, wouldn't say no to getting 2 of these. And now, despite us not having, or having lost a lot of health, we have enough total health, but it's not that bad in the grand scheme of things.
She stops to cast that dreaded lure again.
Not gonna throw me off this time. Oh.
Star Sailor.
Have we seen one of those before? Okay, so more life or gold. We actually, when did we get 500 gold? I do not remember that being the case. Of course, we got kinda, well, we did not manage to afford the Kiss of Styx from the mini shop after the previous floor. However, by getting Athena afterward and restoring our Death Defiances, we actually, on net, ended up saving 200, is it 200? It's 200 in Hades 1. It might be less than that in Hades 2. But we ended up saving a bunch of money that way. So that's one of the reasons why we actually have more to work with here than I would have expected. So we probably do still have enough in the next shop, and then the the mini shop after the Prometheus Heracles fight, so we can probably afford to do this instead. You guys fighting each other? Dragon and the automatons? I can't tell. Boom. If we hit with all those, the damage does start to become pretty huge, especially if you factor in all the bonus stuff we get from... Ooh, hold on. Oh, that was bad. That was really bad. Not the last of them, though. Ooh, I hate those guys. Can still go around? It pretty much can. Ooh, I don't know what angle is safe here. One moment. There we go. And we've had very good luck with the Sea Star activating, I will say that much. And we did turn down Hermes previously. We could get him here. Hermes cannot be duplicated by that Sea Star. The Palm potentially can. I mean, we can't approach every room with that potentiality in mind. I think the upside of this is still good enough that it's worth taking it over the Palm. Palm we would ideally use to further upgrade you, but let's go here. Oh, why hello there. Oh, I was trying to dodge this guy, and then I ended up getting hit by the other dude. That is annoying. Oh, this is not a statue that I can invoke. Oops. I guess we're doing this then. I think we're safe here. I'm not really sure what he died to. The Scorched Dot, I guess?
In the name of Hades.
Alright, sprint is faster. We get 3 blocks per room. That is pretty nice. Charge moves are 15% faster. That's also really useful for this build. I think just because of the rarity, and I do really like this one. The earlier you get it, the better for sure. But I think I'm still going to go with this. If we were to have gotten a higher rarity version of the faster charge up, I probably would have gone for that. If we get more Hermes that shows us that option, then we will definitely take it. Poseidon or Zeus. I still think we're looking for Zeus because our most important boon is a Zeus boon. So if we can get anything else that synergizes with that, that would be ideal. There's a little bit less synergizing potential with Poseidon. I'll bust it around this, so you know, I'll go for it. I think there's at least one more thing here. Oh, darn it. Really should just be going with the special, shouldn't I? Almost no situation in which you can justify going with the attack. There's still more of them? Okay, there we go. It does look cool when we have the bazillion specials all hit the same enemy. We're like the mini-boss on the first floor Erebus, the one that does the pin missile attack. I don't really need to gift to you, so we won't.
I accept this message.
Let's see. No, we need to keep the freeze for sure. Not looking for the revenge damage. Yeah, actually, if each individual special projectile triggers this, then that's quite good. And that could mean that the Zeus infusion would be really good. We need one more air boon before we'd be eligible for it, though. And obviously we don't yet have it. Ooh. Oh, for max magic? No. Not for max magic. I know we did just prime a fair bit, but we have so much to begin with, and also magic restoration, so not really an issue there. So free Poseidon or shop in the penultimate room. I think we're going for this. We have enough money. We should be fine. No golden urns, and not especially thrilled about the options here outside of just this.
Valuable enough.
Okay. We do have a fair bit of fire boons, and getting flat damage on the special in particular would be very helpful. So we have so many projectiles that overall that adds up to a lot. We did see this before. I don't remember if it was this rarity or not. We still don't have an attack boon, but as I was saying earlier, I think that is fine if we just lean on the special entirely. So we would have loved to have seen some healing here. Unfortunately, we did not get that. So there is certainly a chance we may find ourselves using a Death Defiance, maybe even 2, on this encounter. But fortunately, after having gotten 2 more from Athena, we're more able to weather that storm, and we can throw the Skelly Keepsake on the final floor if we need to. And it's just normal Typhon. I mean, yes, there's always the chance that leading up to Typhon or against Typhon himself, you might need a Death Defiance, so don't want to cut things too close, but hopefully we have what it takes here at this stage.
Say hello, Heracles.
The gods are
No.
permitting this behavior of yours, Titan. The vandalizing of their mountain, the perpetual assaults on their defenses, fighting me.
My master, or perhaps my former master, as I now should say, wishes to undo certain perceived wrongs, as you are well aware. I merely have a part to play in this.
And you're prepared to fight eternally against me, then? For my grandfather to be absolved of the mistakes of his past, and for the future of the gods to be secured?
I am prepared to fight eternally for what I believe in, and so that time flows freely forth, if that is what it takes.
Whoa. Hold on. He's not allowed to say that. That's our line. Only the good guys are allowed to say that. What gives? Every time. I was thinking about it. Oh, there's the knuckle bones. It does hit both of them. That's great. I was thinking about the eagle at the beginning of that conversation, then I got distracted. Okay, I think we do probably want to hex more or less as quickly as possible. Try to keep you guys in here, ideally. Perfect. Speaking of flame. Oh, ideally done that a little bit quicker. That does do a lot of damage. Oh, I was not referring to that. I was attempting to refer to our own ability. We do have another hex. It is also... It's the other one that is, superpowered. Which does make me wonder if it's worth using it here or saving it. Also, we canceled Prometheus out of one of his skills, which I did not expect to be possible. I thought it was because he was going to do this, but he didn't. Okay, middle, top, middle, top. Not so bad. Oh! That was a resistance? Darn it. Kind of surprised we still have one, to be honest. Oh, it probably came from the extra resistances that we got. Hold on. Put you there. That's the one that we canceled out of earlier that I was surprised to see. That was a bad place to be stuck at that point in time, as was that. Somebody want to walk in this? Maybe? Possibly? Not really cooperating with each other. Oh, that was still a resistance, though. Okay, that one definitely wasn't, and it also just did not register my special input. Alright. There have been so many things that have happened on this run. I will be the first to admit, my execution has not been good. Case in point right there. However, there have been a huge number of things that have just... They've happened in the past, And they haven't always come back to bite us that much. But, and sometimes happen more than others. Okay, we're about to use Death Defiance, and, you know, it probably means we might need to use 2 at this rate, because it was not exactly the stage at which I expected us to need to do this. That wasn't where I wanted that either. What's he doing? Can't see anything. Okay. Not ideal placement, but so be it.
This is a proper fight.
Oh, that still hit me? That certainly will. Okay. I'm so ready to... I mean, that one was largely... Or at least the first hit was kind of cheap. The second one was not. But I'm getting very frustrated with this run to the point where I'm just about ready to write it off altogether. Okay. Technically my fault, but extremely frustrating. Alright. One moment. Okay. Middle. Not middle. Top. That sucks. Okay, and now I've completely lost. I don't know. Yep. It's game over. This is the kind of run that just makes me not want to play Hades. Just because of how frustrating. It's been that annoying. It's been that annoying. Has been non-stop head shakes this entire fight. I get it. I get it. As he gets hit once again, there have been many things that I've done wrong. I'm not saying that I've played this perfectly, I certainly haven't, but the number of times those things have happened is unbelievably frustrating. I want this over here, or here for that matter. A little bit better. That thought was going to hit us. Alarm. I'm amazed that it didn't. That was extremely fortunate there. I dashed out of that, and again, the animation canceled on me. Or the animation did not allow me to cancel to dodge. Which has happened probably at least 10 times now. Which is insane. Is Prometheus down? No, he's not. Thought he was. He's not. I did see that one coming. That was initiated off screen. Also is not quite enough. Please walk in here though. That was extremely close. That was also quite close. That was too. Okay. I had $1 for every time they off-screen. Okay, Prometheus is down. We're about to go down. Wanna go back in there? Nope. Okay. Oh, it's in there. That's the eagle, because of course now the eagle shows up. No, that missed. Ooh, that was very close. That was extremely close as well. As was that. Oh my god, are you kidding me? It hit twice like that. That is unbelievable. That is so egregious. That is possibly the worst one we've seen. The way that that shotgun, so unreasonable. Wow.
I knew that this would be a struggle, but I'll always take the chance I may be wrong.
And that was the difference between having to use another Death Defiance and not having to use another Death Defiance, which very well may be run deciding. That is so bad. So, it's been a long time since we had a run like this, where it just felt like everything that could go wrong mechanically has gone wrong mechanically. Maybe for the first time since full release. Unfortunately, especially in early access, this was a more frequent occurrence, where maybe not quite to this extent, at least not that often, but there were times when there was non-stop enemies off-screening, enemies hitting with attacks that did not seem to have hitboxes that were lining up properly, and it seemed like many of those things had been tweaked over time during early access and got good enough that they were the occasional critique, the occasional frustration, but not enough to compound to any sort of significant extent, at least usually not. But my goodness, it is non-stop on this run, and it is unbearable. If I were playing better, yes, probably at that point, we would have more margin for error, and it would be easier to just brush it off. But we have no Death Defiances. We can get one from the Luckier Tooth.
Very well.
Which I think I will use here. We have enough life that you could argue Knuckle Bones actually is better to stick with, but we'll go Luckier Tooth. It means strength is inactive, but it means we can potentially get strength later on once we use this Death Defiance. And then it would be great to get that Kiss of Sticks from here. There's still a chance we might see one popping up later on. I think we'll take both these. Won't expedite either of them. That way we do still have money for a future mini shop and potentially the super shop at the end. So with the Luckier Tooth, we do have a Death Defiance from that. It's technically less effective than a standard Death Defiance would be, because it's a flat... How much is it actually? It's 101, whereas a standard Death Defiance would give us half of our health, which is 50%, more than 50% better than that. So, it's not ideal. There have been times when we have not needed to use a Death Defiance on Typhon. So, it's not impossible at this stage, but it's going to be tricky, especially because there are some of the Typhon mini-boss fights that can be quite challenging, or at least can cause us to take a fair bit of damage. So, that is a problem. We also have had so little healing, I'm realizing. Have we had a single healing item from a shop? That's another thing that just, margin for error-wise, I think if we got one healing item before either this shop or I don't remember if we were going into the Eris fight with full life. I'm not sure that we did. That could have been the difference between having to use the Death Defiance and not having to use the Death Defiance. And again, it's just those things all add up. So it is possible, but it will take some very good execution here. I think I am going to do this early and often in these rooms. In part because I was thinking it's pretty infrequent that we get extra waves of enemies on this floor, it seems. that was unbelievably close. Okay. Cool. This. So at this point, you know, basically anything that we get is a bonus. We did get the bonus nightmare from defeating Prometheus, so at least there's that. At least there is that, and we did try out one of the new keepsakes. So even if this run ends early, there is still something to be gained in reaching that point. That's very nice. That's not. Okay, so we are getting Selene in one room. And we already got the biggest Selene stuff that we wanted, so at this stage we're mostly just looking at the biggest upgrade remaining we actually don't like for the most part. So I don't know that we get huge value from that. I think Poseidon probably is the better route to take here.
Next floor.
But which boss is this? It's these guys. Okay. That was so stupid. I immediately started trying to charge up the charge special, and it was not going to work, because I did not have enough time to do it. It's just a normal version. If you are still in there, that'd be great. There we go. Okay, we'll take that. Oh, is it worth it? I don't know. It all depends on if the game decides to actually give us some access to healing, for the most part. There's a chance we're bullying one of these guys way more than the other. I'm not really sure. No, again, it's still the dodge. The dodge is so slow. It just refuses to allow me to go out of the charge special and into a dodge. Please walk into this. Darn it. Oh, and I don't have any magic left. It's a little hard to stand still in this encounter. I got a little bit back there. No, that didn't quite land you in the cast. Okay, that hit you, so that's good. Apparently we have split the damage significantly between them. That was apparently a resistance. That was bad. But I think you're gone now. It's another resistance. We do have guaranteed resistances per room. I think that's in part what's activating there. There we go. Okay. I need to see how much damage we took. How bad was it? How bad was it?
Lord Hermes.
Could have been worse. Certainly could have been better.
Get that, Golly. Why, thank you.
Alright. Take this. This is the one from the mini shop, and as I said, this we don't really want. Well, I guess getting one more Selene would have meant we'd get close enough. We'd have enough to do this. Would have been kind of nice. Yeah, since it'd be more or less guaranteed to apply to Typhon. So I guess we'll head in that direction. Yeah, and that's stuff we'd want anyway, in all likelihood. So we'll do that. We do this, which is what we took instead of the Selene reward as the end room reward.
In the name of Hades.
And this one, boons in the leftmost column. Gain level spread across however many you have. Total bonus for main boons plus 8. I don't remember having seen this before, but it seems pretty incredible. This also is good with the C-Star that we got earlier, but it's probably too late for that to be a big difference maker, except that it does give us healing, which honestly, you can't ever really turn that down, or you can't really, you have to consider it, at the very least. But, I mean, that's still...
They'll drown.
Okay, I think I misunderstood how that worked to a certain extent. thought that was going to give +8 on all of these things, and I was looking at the special in particular. Oh, I see. The more you have, the more it gets split up. So actually, by having an attack boon, we'd get fewer levels on these things. Alright. I might have actually taken the... In hindsight, might have taken the healing in that case.
Closer to the top.
Just never ends. I was ready for that to hit me as well. Okay. Nothing else in here, and this is still normal room, no mini-boss just yet, but that is likely to happen in the next room. That was bad.
Here's a little warm-up for you.
I don't know if you take damage from that when you're underground like that. Oh, I guess you do. Okay. Now it's mini-boss, and... that was closer than it should have been. Okay, Zeus versus Super Palm. So Zeus, we're still looking for any air synergizing stuff we can get. If we were to get the infusion, we're one away from being able to actually benefit from that. Whereas if we get this, we're very much looking for the special, one would think. So I think it probably is still this. Really want this to be the tail. That's honestly the biggest factor. Obviously, we can't know in advance which one it is not the tail. Although maybe this aspect could be really good here. Plus this. Does seem like the aspect is doing some pretty good work here. Plus the hex, of course. Stuff while we're at it. That while we're at it, though, walk into all the other projectiles, do that. I need the magic. Get some back? I did. That was a resistance. What about my deflecting or my knockback dash? Did still make the eyeball. I was not sure if you're gonna have enough life to do that. Can that still kill you when you steal the eyeball out? It can. Okay, so we took some damage there. It definitely could have been worse. The aspect plus the hex were very effective.
That was vile.
Now we get life from the delayed shop. Does not activate multiple times there. I mean, we've had enough of that. Can't expect any more to proc there. Then here's the high rarity Zeus. We could get the attack boon. In a way, it's actually kind of bad. This is the one that we passed on very early on. I think it was low rarity, and we were saying maybe we can get the high rarity version later that would make it feel more worthwhile. So I think we take that, and now it means if we get air quality showing up in the super shop, then we do get value from that. We are now at that super shop here. So we've saved our, at least the Death Defiance that comes from the keepsake. We are not at full health. With one healing source, we'd probably get there. So if we can make that happen, I start to feel a lot better about our prospects here. It's kind of similar to what we were saying before. It's doable. It's not a given. But it is a big deal that we did not have to use the Death Defiance in either of those mini-boss fights.
Nicely done.
For a moment as we get those golden benefits. I did not know that Hermes said anything if you just start walking away from him. I've never seen this before in a shop like this, but this is a Kiss of Sticks. That's a Death Defiance back. That could be the type of game changer we're looking for here. Let's see what Hermes has to say, though.
How's everything with you and Charon been, now that the underworld is no longer under Titan governance?
Oh, it's been great, which is to say it hasn't changed too much. He can't go back to ferrying Shades of the Dead until the underworld is up and running like it used to be.
My impression is that may take a while. Father is meticulous about taking stock of everything that's changed and doesn't want to rush into reopening till everything is prepared.
You lost me after doesn't want to rush, honestly, long as your father knows he's got some helping hands available whenever he may need.
I can remind him if need be.
Okay, so let's see. With 700 gold, we can go... We definitely want this. And I think that is the type of game changer we were looking for. So I like that a lot. There's a chance that Demeter would give us something that gives us healing. The one that drops one of the seeds and gives you healing whenever you use one of those seeds. So might take this before we take you. If we do take Demeter, that means we're not going to be able to afford Poseidon. So I think we're basically just accepting the fact that we're passing on Poseidon. It's a question of, do we get this or do we get this, basically.
Hear me, on my
All
authority.
depends on what we get here. Freeze effects cause lightning bolts to repeatedly strike afflicted foes for 30 damage every half second. That... No, let's get steady growth while we're at it. No, definitely hailstorm.
Better.
Okay, so that's good for damage, especially since we basically just drop the cast on top of Typhon and then throw one of these at him. I think, given that we got that Kiss of Sticks, this is functionally 100 healing, or actually slightly less than that, because we'll heal a little bit going in there. Yeah, we should.
Life.
It's a little less exciting, but I think it is the right choice. Okay, so, yeah, this was not a fun experience getting here. In theory, I kind of like the idea behind this aspect, and having the freezing cast to set it up was nice, and getting the bazillion projectiles was also cool. But something about this not allowing, like, when I'm charging this up, this is the sound of me pressing the dash button and not being allowed to dash to cancel out of this. And that is what led to us getting hit a bazillion times. So that alone would have saved us from taking at least one, if not two Death Defiances worth of damage, and that feels like something that probably should be allowed. Because I feel like, I mean, if you have dash strikes, why can't you dash out of charged attacks?
Okay.
But anyways, here comes the Typhon fight, and in theory, as I was saying, I mean, we do have a lot of damage if we can set him up
Hail, Typhon.
for some big charged specials, and it would be our highest fear run with this type of weapon. I am going to do this. Get the bonus damage. Oh, that was one of the cool ones. Little projectiles.
Come on, Zeus.
Ah, that's bad to waste. I don't know, I wanted to get the duo active by hitting him with cold and the freeze, or the cold and the lightning effects simultaneously. Honestly, we might not even need the cast to set that up, because it might already, his hitbox might be big enough that it doesn't matter. Oh, hold on while I get magic back. That was bad. Yes, I am saving this Hex for at least once Typhon is back. Now that he is, I could consider using it. It's the last of our God-sent ones, right? Because we have almost one thus far. Oh, that was bad timing. Also, please go down now. Thank you. Just not sure if I was in range of that or not. Oh, hold on. Oh, I thought I was at the bottom of the screen. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. Doubles yet? Yeah. Well, that was not technically in range. It's a shotgun effect. Okay, here's Zeus phase. I think we'll use. Actually, I don't think we want to use Hex here. I think we just want to go with this, to be honest with you. And once he cut, because I think he gets immune here. At least he can. But he didn't. Oh, tried to dash through that. Did not succeed. Hold on. Thank you. I did appreciate that. Okay, now it's going to be double. One. No, it's not double. That's projectile, which went slowly because you were frozen. One. Still just one. Okay, I was not certain if I was out of range or not. Okay, so this is what I was trying to avoid missing, or avoid messing up by using the Hex too early. Nope, did not manage to find that well. Tail messed me up quite a bit. That's bad. I was going to do double right. 1, 2. That was close. Okay, now I will definitely do this. I think that's still going to hit him, but it actually might not. Once again, for a minute there, I lost track of where I was on the screen. 1. Oh my god! Yes, I knew the second hit was coming, but I got staggered at the... I got hit by that other enemy just before it came, so I was not able to dodge for that reason. That is so frustrating. The number of times that things like that have happened on this run, the number of times that things like this have happened on this run is just too large for me to even count. One, mistimed. 2. 1, 2. Mistimed. There we go. One of those hits, one more of those hits and we were dead. Never again. This is the kind of run that makes me really dislike playing Hades sometimes. And why, although we fortunately have not had many that have gone like this as of late, it is hard for me to give a universal ringing endorsement of Hades 2 sometimes, because some of these things, I said it many times, I will be the first to admit, I made many mistakes on this run that led to us taking a lot more damage than we ought to have taken. However, there were also many instances, in many different ways, that the game made us take extra damage in ways that felt very unreasonable, and that is a very bad experience. Especially when you are significantly punished for that. It's one thing if you say, get a bunch of healing, and you can sort of just brush it off. We did get a fair share of Death Defiances. Fortunately, if not for those, then this run definitely would not have been a success. Success is, still probably not the word that I would use to describe this one. Oh man. It's just, it's hard to relay just how important the distinction is, and I don't know how clear it is sometimes from a viewer's perspective, the difference between taking damage and being punished by mechanics in ways that feels reasonable and ways that don't feel reasonable. This one certainly had some of the ways that were reasonable, and I just didn't execute well, but there were so many times when things were very unreasonable, and it almost cost us the run.
It is most natural to wonder, now that our princess of the underworld withstood the terrifying fury of the father of all monsters, what comes next. So please, go right ahead and wonder that.
Return to Shadow now.
But time flows freely forth, and though it was frustrating, that is in the rearview mirror now.
Wakey, wakey.
And it was our highest fear run thus far with the blades, despite it not really being one of our preferred blade aspects. The first time we finished a run with that blade aspect. And I said, I mean, it is cool, especially when you get to have all those projectiles. It's just, it would make a world of a difference if you could cancel out of the charge special with a dash.
Shall we go again, Phrenos? Perhaps we're dealing with infinite possibilities.
And yeah, to a certain extent you could argue, okay, well, it's one thing for the first one or two times to be doing that move and then not being able to dodge out of it and getting hit for that reason, but then at a certain point you have to learn and adapt, and to a certain extent I was doing that, but it's just when that is the key combo you have to do, and it's, you know, the only big way besides the Hex for you to deal damage, that when it's the entire thing that your aspect is built around, then it's just such a huge Achilles heel, to use a Greek term.
You'll see them again soon. Perhaps tonight.
Feel free to stay in your own tent as long as you like.
Oh, technically that was not
You dare?
the exclamation point like this,
Good evening, everyone.
or conversations, or completing prophecies, and this one was
Wasn't on
from
this before.
Poseidon, which we did not have until this run, and we immediately completed it because we already had all of his boons.
Excellent.
So that's 500 bones, and that was the bonus bones weapon as well, wasn't it? Oh,
Such a mess.
it is a mess, but also Moros is here. So what's going on?
Come on, man. Gotta tell me why you're really here. The three don't just send you out on long assignments like this. Wait, is it because of her?
When she says the three, she's referring to the Fates. That's who she's alluding to. So maybe this conversation is important and may progress that prophecy for releasing the Fates.
Please, Eris. The princess ought to be addressed as such. And lest you forget, the details of my arrival are not for me to divulge. There must be something else we can discuss.
Oh, I can think of lots of things. I want to know what's going on with you, too. I see the way you look up at her as she trots by. Maybe the three sent you here to set the two of you up?
Oh, snap. Is Moros hitting on us?
You're trying to embarrass me. It isn't going to work. And besides, we both know the Fates have better uses of their weaving time than things like that.
Do they really? Thought they were all about meddling with the smallest details of everybody's lives. But you'd know better than me.
I know better than to be provoked like this.
Okay. Well, I mean, it was a conversation about the Fates. And I do think that Moros is that first one, the emissary. But that does not seem to have done the trick.
Death to Kronos.
How is it we are working with that Titan now? You and me both,
Night is
man.
ours, Shades.
Okay, nothing else new here.
Welcome, Lord Charon.
Hello, Charon. Hello, Charon's shipment. Which may or may not be more important than Charon himself. What? No, of course not. Okay, we can afford that nightmare, although I think we were also thinking about picking up more moon dust for purchasing some things, so I think I'm going to hold off for now. How are we doing on nectar? One? Probably should buy more, just in case.
Fair trade.
It's not that expensive. Okay, then...
That monster.
Oh, right, I forgot. We learned about a new incantation. A big one at that.
I could to make stronger dream vapors.
Because this could be the most important, very likely, is the most important thing that we just got from that run. The incantation to awaken Moros, or at least so it seems. Reach deep into the psyche of Hypnos to perhaps stir him from his dormant state. And it grants one of the dream vapors, which we did use previously a while back, which gave us our closest glimpse into what is going on with Hypnos right now, but it wasn't enough to actually wake him. Maybe this time, though, it will be. In the rarest cases of indefinite slumber, only the mind of the subject holds the key to its awakening. So I don't know if that happens immediately.
And then beyond.
I don't remember.
Carefully said.
Okay. It might be that we gift that to him and then we see what happens. I don't think we're gonna gift here, though.
I'd not expected Lady Medea to be stationed in Ephyra still, Headmistress. To think even a witch of her experience wasn't able to prevent the city's fall.
It was not her responsibility to try. Medea was there to blend with the locals. It seems she's even more successful at it now, with most of them deceased. I trust she aided you in her own way.
Bit of an insult there. Oh, she fits in now that everyone's dead. Also, she aided us in her own way. Hecate. Definitely implying some pretty negative things about Medea, even if they are colleagues.
That she did, yes.
Alright, and is there actually anything else
What's to be done?
of this category we might want? Nah, I think we're good for now.
Did it again.
We did. Only just barely at that.
Your old adversary Polyphemus wanted me to give you a message on his behalf. Though, come to think, I'm uncertain what he wanted me to say. Perhaps just kick you savagely.
And we are hoping that something having to do with this, that it's going to be the thing necessary to allow us to continue progressing our relationship with Odysseus, as I was just showing you. It's currently locked. We are not allowed to progress any further. It has been for a while.
Sounds like the Cyclops that I used to know, all right. My crew and I, we were his captives for a while, and his food supply. I found a way to get us out of there, but it was ugly.
I don't remember this. I don't remember this part. I assume it must be in the Odyssey, but I don't recall.
He calls you nobody. How did he come to know you by that name?
That sounds vaguely familiar, though. That might be starting to ring a bell.
Nobody took his eye, goddess. I gave to him a name that wouldn't make a lick of sense when he called over to his mates for help. We had to try.
He has mates.
Perhaps not anymore.
Hopefully not. I mean, you would think, if anything, that would be how the rival fight would go down. Okay, does that change anything here? Seemingly not yet. But maybe soon. We might be making progress. Might be a prerequisite, the conversation we just had. But yeah, I don't think we're gifting to you.
Heard you snuffed another Typhon out last night. Well done, Princess. Things are handled in the underworld too, when it comes to time flowing freely forth and all that.
Okay, someone else said that. It was Prometheus said that on the previous run, right? Now Nemesis is as well. It's one thing for Prometheus, who's definitely an enemy. Nemesis, of course, blurs that line to a certain extent. So definitely not cool for Prometheus. I don't know. Are we going to allow Nemesis to say it, though?
Things
We might
are
have
handled
to.
in the underworld how? Wait, you've been speaking with Grandfather Kronos, haven't you? Which means... no.
Did she finally defeat Kronos herself?
Your grandfather did what you never could and got me in the House of Hades. A remnant one of them, containing the old Kronos we were after all along. And I got him.
Congratulations, Nemesis. Okay, now leave us alone. You're like 30 Kronos kills behind us, so sure, we'll give you a little bit of credit, but don't get all high and mighty now.
You got him. Vanquished Kronos on your very first attempt. Impossible. Even if you did prevail, you'd most likely end up trapped for all eternity in a temporal rift.
Yeah, that was a little strange. That I was kind of surprised in that way. It's one thing to say, oh, he got me in there, and that would have been news. But for you to have not only gotten in there, but also defeated him on your first attempt, that's impressive, yes, but also feels unlikely.
Go ask your grandfather yourself sometime.
You're serious?
It just doesn't feel super believable. Obviously, Nemesis has been trying forever to do that, but always felt like she thought she was much better than she actually was at fighting and taking on Kronos, and that's in part why it took her so long to get there. So for her to then suddenly have all the answers and be able to defeat him on the first attempt is a little bit surprising. Oh yeah, no, this one we do want to do, though. Let's get more Nightmare. Because we may or may not have spent it on an aspect that we didn't really have any intention of using anytime soon. Yes, we're close to maxing out absolutely every weapon aspect, but not quite enough to do that just yet, so I was hoping that we were going to instead prioritize the ones that we still had to do to complete that prophecy, to finish a run with every aspect, which we did progress by finishing this one.
Take all the time you
I think there's 2 more now. Aspect of Thanatos on the axe, and I forget what the last one would be. Alright, so Hypnos, that is probably the biggest thing, though, especially if we can gift to him here. Assume... Yeah, you'll let us? Okay, so I think it's going to immediately activate much like it did the last time we tried one of these. So this could be huge. This could be the thing that wakes him up permanently. Let's see.
All right, Lord Hypnos, let's give this a new attempt. We have to get you out of there. But first, breathe deep. The same dream as before. He's truly stuck.
Okay, so yes, we have been here once before a long time ago. The scenery. Oh man. The scenery is very striking. They're like cardboard cutouts. It just get knocked a little bit when you run into them. The music as well. It is... Wait. I mean, it's the line that they do for most of the main theme stuff, but is it actually the main theme, or is it just the part that specifically plays when a run ends because you died? And also, instrumentally, it's more bassy.
Not
lower.
moved at all. Let's see if this works.
That's hilarious. That's his brother Thanatos. In case you were wondering. The Hades in the background. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh. And what are all these? A bazillion scrolls? Okay. Can we gift here? Okay, this is actually where we gift to him. Hold on.
Rest easy, son of Nyx.
But also... Wait, let's try talking first.
Welcome to Thanks for dying.
Well, he's slightly awake, I guess, and that may seem very dark, but he is potentially the person who greets people once they first get to the underworld, so that's his job, to say stuff like that.
There's something for you here. One moment, please.
Okay, it seems like this is going to turn into the gift, one way or another.
Again.
If you are dreaming even here, then I must ask if I could see into your psyche deeper still, Lord Hypnos. Whether you let me in is up to you, but once again, breathe deep.
Yeah, technically we're using this same item twice. I was kind of surprised that we still had it in our inventory and it was going to gift... that we were going to be able to gift it again. This is Inception, by the way.
What? This is quite comfortable, really.
Oh no. It's a dream within a dream. The disco ball reminds me of the Dionysus encounters, and now it's lullaby version of the Hades theme, which reminds me of the true ending with Kronos, where we heard, might have been exactly this playing. The art is great. Bunch of stuffed animals and pillows and whatnot.
Wait, there he is.
And Hypnos
Oh no, he's still asleep.
is sleep. Uh-oh. And what is that? That's him, I think. It's a portrait of him. Hold on.
You look comfortable.
Perhaps too comfortable, though. Oh, and that's the Minotaur, and on the Minotaur's foot, you have Theseus there. That's cool.
Lord Hypnos? Lord Hypnos, can you hear me? Answer me. Anything? A twitch of the eye? Oh, come on, please.
Do we have another one of those vapors that we can use to go a step further still? Or is that too dangerous? I don't know, we'd have to consult Leonardo DiCaprio first, right? It's been a while since I've seen Inception. It is Leonardo DiCaprio as the lead, is it not? Am I making that up? It's been too long.
He's dreaming about sleeping? Or about dreaming? This is beyond me still. How far has he descended?
We legitimately do need another one of them to wake him up in his dream within his dream.
Good old Thanatos. Old time.
Okay, but is that a coincidence that he name-dropped Thanatos? Spelling it wrong along the way, but... Or is Thanatos actually one of the keys here?
His brother Thanatos. Hope lost. The dream's collapsing again. No.
Oh. I mean, he didn't wake up there. Is he gonna wake up now?
Oh, got farther that time, but how many dreams are you having? But if you're dreaming of death, perhaps.
So yeah, we saw something with Thanatos previously, not that long ago, right? And so yeah, he is death, Thanatos, his brother, whereas Hypnos is sleep, so in some ways it is fitting that he's been asleep for this long, but obviously we are trying to wake him.
Sleep well for now, my lord.
Oh. It said +8 to... Oh, as in time just passed? Okay.
Garlic.
Which means we can now harvest that. I wasn't sure for a second if that meant that we needed to spend exactly 8 units of time in order to check back in on Hypnos and get some sort of update, or if, as we just confirmed, that meant that time just passed. And with that being the case, I guess we made a tiny bit of progress there, and also a tiny bit of progress on the plants. Didn't have anything cooking over here in the meantime, but I don't think we had anything that was desperately urgent to put there anyway. So, okay. Progress on the Hypnos front, but not done with it yet. And maybe it'll just take one more check-in with Hypnos after the next run. Maybe it requires even more of those items to wake him up from his sleep within a dream, within a dream, within a dream, however many layers it goes. I know this run was frustrating, but fortunately we did still manage to get the job done, close as it may have been, and in doing so we did check off one of the components of one of the main prophecies that we have left to complete a run with all of the different weapon aspects, and so I think there are only 2 left. One of which I believe, or actually yes, I think I remember which they are. It's the aspect of Thanatos here, speaking of whom. Here is his aspect, and then the other is, I think, the aspect of Medea here on the skull. And the skull is the bonus bones weapon, so that may make sense for us to go with this on the next one. However, with that being said, as a reminder, there is that update that's coming out sometime in the future. I don't know if they gave a timeline, but I may be waiting for that to come out before we go back to doing full-blown runs, since it would affect how quickly we can complete the various subplot lines, like Awakening Hypnos and Freeing the Fates, things like that. So maybe the backlog is long enough that by the time we're through the backlog, the update will be out and we can go back to doing full-blown runs and you guys won't even notice the difference. But if that is not the case, then we may go back to doing some Chaos Trials, so we still have something fun and productive to do while we wait for that update. But either way, this is where we'll wrap things up, so thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.